Hello, everyone. You're welcome to this series, which we'll be talking to experienced CEOs about their own journey in terms of having companies that scaled over the period of time. So today with us, we'll have the co-founder, Sycamore, and she's currently the CEO of the Bedrock Group. She'll be sharing with us some bit of experiences, giving us some tips, and inspiring young entrepreneurs on how to go about setting up structures and putting together the governance they require for scaling their companies. So today, we would like to introduce the CEO of Bedrock. Her name is Onyinye Okonji. Onyinye, it's nice to meet you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yep. So we'll just go straight into it. We'll be asking her a few questions around, what makes her tick, and she will be sharing with us experiences that could help us, in our journey as entrepreneurs. Right. So, yeah, I just wanted to find out. I mean, currently you are, you know, doing some new work around, creating the Bedrock brand,
hmm
projecting Bedrock as a very good hospitality brand that everybody should look up to.
hmm
So I'll say to you, can you tell us what your business is uniquely structured what your business is uniquely structured the problem is uniquely structured to solve, you know.
Okay. So thank you again for having me. So Bedrock is a collection of premium short let and long stay apartments. So I'll just say serviced apartments, right? And we are currently only located in Lagos for now. What we are poised to solve in the market is a very nice small niche where customers who are traveling in groups with children or even solo travelers want to, and people who are often nomadic want to feel like they're at home wherever they go and not in hotels. Hotels can be somewhat impersonal, right?
Yeah.
So we provide premium plug and play homes that are serviced to the standard of hotels so that you are getting the up and up of both options, right? So that's the problem that we're trying to solve in the market. Our unique
Excellent.
niche is an apart hotel.
Excellent. Well done. So, what will you define, or how will you look at in terms of your strategy? Looking at the so many years of building a business like Sycamore, and
Mm-hmm.
then coming into this new business with Bedrock.
Mm-hmm.
What will you say your unique strategy style will be like in terms of you growing a business from the scratch rather, and all the way to the valuation which maybe Sycamore has and which a Bedrock has as of today?
To be clear, what's my strategy for growing businesses?
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay. Making money.
Okay.
That's a big one. Making
Yeah.
money is a strategy,
Mhm.
but more importantly, having the heart to serve people. That's, I think, the most important thing for me because where did the idea for Sycamore come from? It was really around creating, closing the gap between haves and have-nots,
Yeah.
so to speak, where one set is an investor and one set is needs money, credit
Mhm.
and debt, right? And then for Bedrock, it was really around providing these plug and play homes to service the market that had a huge gap. So it's really in just providing solutions. Where we see a pain point, we try to provide solutions. So my strategy, just to bring it home, is really how can I make money from providing this solution
Yeah.
for a pain point that is popular?
Yeah. Okay. So the question, a question will arise: at what point, in the whole journey, would you say
Mhm.
you decided to, okay, I want to pursue this, I just want to do this. Now I'm going to zero in and just get this pain off the table and just get it sorted for people. At what point would you say you started realizing that, this is what I want to do?
Okay, for Sycamore, I was in school and it was from school that we decided I have two co-founders and we decided that, oh, you know what, let's tackle this. What do we have to lose, right? We don't have jobs anyways. start this business. If it fails, you know what? We learn a lesson. We go and get jobs. And thankfully, 7 years later, we're still going strong. For Bedrock, it was an opportunity that presented itself, and we're like, you know what? Let's see how it goes too. So I think most importantly, my risk profile is like high. Like I'm like, what do I have to lose? You know, if I start and it fails, it was a lesson. If I start and it succeeds, you know.
So your advice would be to any entrepreneur to just, get into it full swing, give it the best shot you can. If it succeeds, you got the accolades. But if it fails, you learn a lesson and then you recover and
Yeah,
go
you learn
ahead.
how not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So what would you say, for instance, in the space around where you play, where would you say that your competitors actually got it all wrong, in terms of the services you render currently?
Okay, so I like to think about the other players in the market as collaborators in the
Okay.
first place.
Okay.
So if I see them as collaborators, my mindset set shifts from they're trying to get market share from me to how can we all win.
Yeah.
So the
But
way I
I'd
would,
like to pause you there. So
yeah,
you're saying to us today, or you're saying to someone watching this today, that your competition is like, you're looking at it like not really competition, but people who you can collaborate with to make the market better. Is that what you're saying?
absolutely,
Okay,
because
please.
they've noticed the same pain points that I have noticed,
Yes.
and if they're my competitors, then we're solving the same problem. So are they making a fundamental mistake that I know of and I'm not, declaring no? I don't think that I want to. I'll be underestimating their own data points if I think that they're making a mistake. So I
Yeah.
like to see that, okay, you know what, we're solving a problem together, and if there is any gap in their own, I can profit from it. I can also highlight it as well. For the market itself, I think it's also very dynamic because what they want today is not what they want tomorrow.
Yeah.
And where things are trending towards is people are very highly nomadic. They want to be at home wherever they go,
Yeah.
and they also want to be treated like kings.
Sure.
So it's a moving castle
Yeah.
that you're meant to
Yeah.
create, right? So my competitors are creating almost the exact same thing.
Yes.
It's just that there are other factors that make for want to choose one over the other.
Yeah.
Pricing, for instance,
Yeah.
can be a big strategy. Location for us in our business is a huge strategy. So I'm located near the airport.
Yeah.
My highlights are you are literally 25 minutes away from the airport.
Yeah.
So you can come, sleep here, be off in less than 2 hours. You are checked in and all of that. Some of my competitors are on the island.
Yeah.
So a little further, but we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's then are they consider? It can be a mistake. The data points that they're considering,
Okay.
and the data points I'm considering cannot be a mistake either.
All right. So, so in you would say in your own or in your own experience,
Yeah.
data means a lot to you. Is that what you're? That would we consider that as your part of your unique selling points?
My experience?
Yes, in your experience, would data be something that you always have to look into? Is it based on the choices you have to make?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, data is almost the new oil, right? So if you're not looking at data in your company, you're making huge mistakes.
Yeah.
For sure, you're leaving money on the table.
Sure.
I'll give you an example. We had a vertical that was literally bleeding money, and just because it was covered in the ecosystem of the business, it wasn't obvious. If that was the only business that we're, doing, it would have like packed up.
Yeah.
But because we started looking at the data, one, revenue, that's the biggest, is the top line.
Yeah.
If you're not making money, what are you doing?
Yeah, sure.
And for an extended period, we tried everything. We threw the entire kitchen sink to this business. Marketing, online, offline, everything. We're giving freebies at some point, it just wasn't working. We said, you know what, took the very tough decision. This is the data. My gut feel says, oh, this place, we've put in so much into it that it would be great for us to continue because of the sunk cost.
Yeah.
But data says we have done this for over a year. It hasn't worked. It hasn't paid its own bills.
Yeah.
It hasn't paid salaries. It hasn't done anything. Let it go. And today we've converted it and it's making money. We've converted the space into something else and it's making money. So data.
Yeah,
right?
fantastic. So each time, so speaking to a young entrepreneur, are you going to say that each time you consider the data and you see that this is not producing what you want in terms of revenue, you have to reconsider what you're actually doing, and then change your strategy. Is that what you're going to say?
I'll say to the entrepreneur, you know a tree.
Okay.
If the initial data facts you had made you go in a direction,
Mm-hmm.
and that direction you're seeing that it's not working,
Yeah.
consider other data sets
Yeah.
and change. Everybody's changing. Elon Musk has changed. Even Trump, his strategy this time has changed. Everybody's changing all the time. You have this is your permission to change.
Yeah.
Evolve your strategy, pivot at any point. You have that permission.
Yeah. All right. So let's look into leadership philosophy, because as a young entrepreneur, the person is going to get into
Mm-hmm.
is getting into the business sector now,
Yeah.
and he's looking at, okay, as I mean, you've been in this for a while. What will you say in terms of your leadership style, in terms of your leadership philosophy, aligns with your own corporate philosophy as a company? Would you say there's an alignment, or you say that Onye is different from her brand, Bedrock, or
Okay.
will you say you bring some things from Onye's personal philosophy into Bedrock?
Okay. So legally, me is very different from Bedrock, right?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
where it ends
Yeah, sure.
legally. Because I feel like your leadership style defines the next level leadership style and then
Mm-hmm.
next and
Mm-hmm.
goes down like that. So what it means is that there's a lot of Onye in Bedrock.
Yeah,
There was a lot of Onye in Sikamo when I was operational,
yeah,
so you can't you can't really delineate one from the other because you're really co-creating or creating and people are consuming your leadership at the time, right? So they're seeing how you're talking to other leaders, they're learning. They're seeing how you're handling difficult situations, they're learning.
yeah,
So you can't really take away yourself from the business,
yeah,
especially when it's small and you're setting up, right?
yeah,
We're going to turn 4 this year, by God's grace. So it's not you can't really differentiate. However, there are things that also because I'm growing as a leader, I'm able to look back and say, okay, a year ago I would have done it so this differently,
mm-hmm.
but now I've grown, and with the benefit of hindsight, I'm doing things differently. So it then leaves us as an organization to be a living organism, learning and growing at the same time. So what we were a year ago or 2 years ago is not who we are now as a business.
Fantastic. So I need to ask this question around your instinct
Mm-hmm.
versus data,
Mm-hmm.
right? So lots of people tell you they're going to business because instinctively they feel that they could see something thriving, they could see,
Yeah,
they know that it's going to grow over
and
time,
to do
and it's
well.
that instinct, and the data seems to be telling them, so I give myself as an instance.
Yeah.
I started doing a biometric product in the year 2002,
Wow.
and it was not a time to
Yeah, it
get
was
into
ahead
that
of its
space. It
time.
was ahead of its time, and
Yeah,
we had to follow up that business, and
yeah,
over time
yeah,
we can see that it's thriving now. But I mean, that was when I did mine. I can't do
yeah,
it today, right?
yeah.
So would you say, in terms of, as a leader, would you say, you would put your instinct above the data you receive, or which one comes first? Difficult question.
Okay, so I think it's a very good question because what you're asking me is if I'm confident in the decisions I make, even when I don't have a complete data set,
Mhm.
right? That's how I'm interpreting it. Um, Data is important. It's
Yeah.
very important because it shows you the facts. It shows you empirical. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
But you have to lift the hood and look under the numbers. What trends happened? What are the things that influence these numbers?
Yeah.
These are the things that are not captured in any
Data.
statement of
Mm-hmm.
account or in any data set.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that human input is also important, or even
Correct.
also as important.
Yeah.
And the human input here is my gut feel.
Yeah.
Over the years, I have grown even more confident in saying I don't feel that's right, even if the data says this, let's leave the hood, let's check what it is really.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger in business, it's like, okay, let's do this, and the data is right, let's push things along. But over time you see trends and you're able to trust that I was right. I thought this was wrong, but because you're able to then say, I think this is the right way to go.
Yeah.
But leave a caveat that personally I think that we should consider such and such and such.
Sure.
So I'll give you an example of maybe being in an interview or bringing like senior people in. I brought in someone. I thought this was a fabulous idea. On paper, great. She was handling the stuff. It was a match made in heaven. However, a week into, in fact, less than a month into bringing her in, I knew that was wrong. I knew that she had to go. I knew that I had made a fundamental mistake.